thought, what if we were living in a simulation, right? Like a real life Truman story. And everybody around us, in fact, let me not even say what if, we are. We are living in a real life Truman story. All right, because I just woke up, right? And um, I've never woken up out of my sleep like that. Like, just to be like, okay. I got up to record this video about, let me back up, because record this video about, imposter syndrome, imposters, and parasites, right? And then my thoughts started to jump to the different things that were connected to that topic, um, that came to me, right? This particular topic, right? And you guys literally just saw that like firsthand because I jumped from this to this to this. So imposter syndrome or imposters and parasites. And then I started talking about like the Truman Show. We are living a real life Truman Show. And the imposters are sometimes the people around us. In fact, it is the people around us, the people that like it's our everyday. Funny, it's coming to me. It's the everyday people that we encounter, right? We are all imposters to each other and ourselves when we're not being true to ourselves by way of not disposing ourselves or not disposing, disclosing ourselves, right? So when we hide or hold back intricacies of ourselves, we, in essence, block ourselves from ourselves, if that makes sense. Like, we hide from each other and ourselves by way of masking, right? By way of masking. Masking is creating a character or personality or an image as a projection of ourselves to others, right? And we do this all the time and we do this every day. And as we do this, we are being untrue to ourselves and to everyone around us, right? Now, it's not to say that you're not your own entity. It's not to say that what is yours should not be yours or what you possess is not your possession. It is to say that we are to be shared because we are a collective. We are connected. We are a collective of people. We are human beings. We are energetic human beings. We are a collective of energetic human beings. In essence, we are the inner workings of a cell, of life itself, right? When we mm, when we operate in a way or such a way that is outside of our true alignment or our true function, we become a parasite to the collective or to the cell or to the living being. And the way that we do this is by operating in frequencies. Okay. I was talking to my coworkers tonight about um how we are light, how human beings glow, right? There was a study done on human beings where scientists were able to discover that human beings glow. Now, the true people or the true original makers, developers, or like I'm trying to get it together, y'all. Um, there's so many different ways I'm trying to explain it, but I want to explain it in a way that it makes sense, and I don't want to be lost, and I want you all to be able to follow what I'm saying because I jumped through a lot of rabbit holes. When a, because like, what are the parts of the cell? That's what I'm thinking of. That is like seventh grade science. Yeah, like the mitochondria, right? We had, and I'm thinking of plant cells and animal cells. So you have like the nucleotides. Whoa, I'm jumping back. This is a, this is a distance, baby. Um, it's like when a part of a cell stops working the way that it is designed to work, it is no longer functioning to preserve that cell. It is acting against the flow of the true nature of the cell itself, the true cycle that the cell is supposed to follow, right? So I'm thinking of like swaying, right? And I think I saw an example of this in that movie. Like I think it was what Schoolhouse Rock or some shit, and with Jack Black or whatever. And he jumped on a he was it him? And he jumped. No, was that movie? I don't know. Anyway, it might not be the right movie, but it was one of the movies where the teacher jumped on the. No, it wasn't that one. It was the kickboxing joint with where he became the MMA fighter. And he was trying to help raise money. What was that? Oh, it was the guy that played King of Queens or something. Anyway, he jumped on the counter and he's like, he is teaching his students about science and about the cells and how the different parts of the cells work together for the natural flow of, or the natural homeostasis of the cell itself. So we as people, beings, are energetic parts of the inner workings or inner makings of said cell, right? the collective cell, the collective consciousness, right? And when we do not function how we're supposed to function, meaning we are dying off, we can be dying off cells, we could be infectious, portions or viruses or infectious just infections, I guess, because I feel like it's more behind that. But it's not really coming to me right now. So, but like, it's like illnesses. Excuse me. We put the cell in dis-ease. Dis-ease. Not disease. Dis-ease. And when you are uneased, meaning you are uncomfortable, you are ailing, you are becoming sick, it shows in the functioning of your being, your genetic laws, your cells, your makeup. And that also shows up in your actions, your behavior, your speech, your expression of self, and like your, and when I say expression of self, self-esteem, self-hygiene, right? Self-respect. You become an imposter. You become something that you are not destined or created to be. Now, when the cell is weakened or the cell walls are weakened, that is when you open up, or the cell is not strong enough to fight defenses. That's when the cell is opened up to be either healed by the other surrounding cells, or, and I'm talking about cells, not just cells, but persons, light beings, right? When your cell is not strong, when your being, your body is not strong, your defenses are weak. When your portals are not strong, your defenses are weak. When your visions are not clear, your defenses are weak. And if you are surrounded by the right, or the stronger cells in that portion of that part of the cell, or part of the environment of that, whatever, the consciousness and awareness, is so many levels to this, right? There's so many ways you can look at this and it makes sense, right? If you are surrounded by healthy functioning cells, they can heal you, meaning they can lend some of their defense mechanism to heal your cell, to strengthen your cell. They can send your cell genetic or DNA coding to heal itself. That's why the body is designed to heal itself. So like if you fall and you scrape your knee, the healthy tissue that is surrounding it or around it will begin to activate, charge, right? And heal itself. Take action. Now, when I say we're living in the Truman Show, right? Because I'm going to reel it in a little bit. When you, the person, personality, the soul, the being that this you were created to be, your cell, your divine being, your divine casing, when you were created who you were supposed to be, you agreed to protect that cell by any means necessary, right? You agreed to take care of yourself. You agreed to nurture yourself. And you were taught how to do this as you were born in the womb. You were taught how to do this as you were born itself, like as you walk in the everyday waking world, right? Now, sometimes you are taught learned behavior that was generationally passed down, learned morals, learned values, learned traits, learned steps and processes or decision making processes. Yeah, processes. I was correct. Processes and choices. Like you were taught how to really live in the Truman Show. Live according to a social norm, a social expectation, um, a state of mind. What else? Because it's so many parts. Personality traits, characteristical traits. Oh, I've been opening my chest. I'm having, because, the pain. We were talking about that too. The pains that you feel in your body are not from nothing. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit because I want to make sure that this conversation is a full conversation, right? I was talking to you about cell walls, right? When your cell walls function properly, they open properly to receive. So if your cell walls have certain defenses that have been developed, that means that your cell was invaded by something that just did not belong, right? Your cells were taken over by, hold on a second. Okay, so when your cell walls do not open or operate properly the way that they're supposed to, meaning, and I'm not just talking about your regular cell walls, I'm talking metaphorically your cell walls, I'm talking about the actual cell. You are a cell. When because your portals are part of your walls, that's part of your openings, right? And how you protect your openings and your portals, your cell walls, is by how you reinforce them. And you reinforce them by way of naturally taking care of them, by loving them, right? By making sure that you're eating the right food, drinking water, exercising, you know, and not, okay, let me elaborate. When you're exercising, not just physically exercising, right? Exercising your thoughts, your mindset, your emotions, how to flex and flow in them, right? And when you are functioning properly and that's working properly, you feel amazing, right? You are so charged that you can charge others around you. You can take care of others around you, right? Now, because so originally I was going to talk about, I wanted to also tap into, actually, I am going to tap into it. That's the second one, because I gave you two. The first one is just the functioning of the cell wall itself. And then when the cell is going through deterioration or the cell has weakened and it is not able to receive, right? It's not able to take in what's being given to them. That cell is damaged. Something's wrong with that cell, or that part of the cell is not functioning properly. And or that, yeah, because it's a part of the cell, because it's different parts of the cell. It's like hella parts to an actual inside of the cell, right? Because the cell is designed, the cell has genetic coding that was developed and derived at birth, right? That reads information, that processes information that is being received through signals from the body. Okay? Now, the cells that are around your body have coding for like how your eyes operate, how your nose operates, how your mouth moves, how your ears hear, how your voice sounds, how you breathe, how you digest and digest food, fast food, whatever. It's like the different parts of your body is created by different parts of cells, different cells that work together simultaneously to function and flow at an optimal rate, a speed, right? And when the overall um how would I describe this? The overall, because cells belong to a body. I'll say that. When the overall body is functioning properly, some cells can actually send, you know, healing to that area faster, right? It's a different way of looking at this. Same kind of thing I was already saying before, but it's a different way to look at it, right? And basically, what happens is that the cell can be revived, it can be reborn, it can be restored and made new. Now, when a cell wall is not operating properly, right? There's another way that the cell can respond, right? And when a cell does not operate properly, it's because it has been infected by a disease, a rejection of coding, a rejection of processing or understanding because it has been invaded by something or someone. And like it welcomed it in without knowing, right? Sometimes the cell will, when it doesn't operate at its highest capacity, it can be duped or tricked to let in food that shouldn't be there, or, ooh, baby, this is a deep message, because when I'm talking about food, and the first thing I thought about was like what you're listening to, right? Because we learn by hearing. Ooh, I'm gonna say that again. We learn by way of hearing. Our hearing is our first form of thought, our first form of understanding by way of hearing. You have to hear and understand what you hear to process and to function properly. You have to know how to listen. You have to know how to turn off, detach, release, let go, and just listen. Not always talk, just listen. And when you listen and feel. You feel what you are listening to. Then you begin to understand it, right? And as you understand what is you are being exposed to, you learn how to function and grow. Now, I'm seeing an infant in the womb, right? I don't know why I thought of pregnancy, so that came to my mind. But like when they say a seed is planted, right? When the seed is planted, it's born. It is given life. When we press a seed into the ground, our energy exercising to do that, to perform that act, that action, we are giving life to things, right? Like ours, when we think about the cell, what I just explained before, with the cell, other cells sending that antibodies, protection or defenses to the weakened cell, right? We are giving life. We can heal ourselves, heal each other, right? As a society, right now, when you don't work together properly and you work against the grain, you can also be a deterrent, and you may have weakened cell walls and became infected with what someone thought of you, what someone said about you, what someone assumed about you, what someone lied on about you, or manipulated you into. When you receive that information and you process it, you digest it, you absorb it, right? You process it, because I think I said that backwards. You ingest it, you digest it, you absorb it, you process it, and you produce, right? How are you producing? What are you producing? What are you ingesting? What are you allowing to take root in you? If people are saying things you don't like, are you going to absorb that? And if you do absorb it, right? Because some things can grow in nasty or negative environments that really aren't becoming of that thing to grow. How we see plants grow through concrete, or grow in a shoe, or grow in a cup, right? Plants are designed to grow in nature, to be attached or attuned to water. Plants are attracted to water. Their roots will seek and look for water. That's how a root extends or grows. That's how a thought grows. That's how an idea grows, how a motivation grows. When you absorb things that you are able to process, it grows. Now, it can also grow and rot, meaning because plants suffer root rot sometimes because they want so much and they go to water and they take in too much water and they have nowhere to expel or expand itself anymore. They begin to die off. They begin to kill itself off. It begins to rot so that it can preserve its energy that it's already retained to maintain the life of the plant, with hopes that the absorbing or other environment around can withstand or help it, right? And sometimes they can be helped and sometimes they can not be helped, right? This is a lot to explain, good Lord. Because the message is supposed to be about, imposter syndrome and parasites, right? And I promise you it's all connected. I just give me a second. When you take in information that, like when you take an overflow of information, an influx of information that is cannot be processed, it cannot be coded, the cell begins to work overtime. It will either it will either make either either make the decision to quantum jump leap, um, executive decision to duplicate, because cells duplicate, twins, I don't know why I just said twins. The cell will make the decision to like basically create another version of itself because it has an overflow of information, and it will copy itself to disperse some of the weight of what it's holding. That is in turn how it heals. It'll duplicate itself, right? with hopes of pushing out like an influx, that extra information, or that, because you can absorb negative energy and make it positive, right? A negative or negative becomes a positive. And when you take it enough negative, sometimes there you have the adverse effect. The negative will take in the negative and in turn invert a positive, which is a spark of life. A positive can charge a negative and help it maintain its life, because they can become damn, because it's like chemistry now. When you think about chemistry, because cells connect, they share protons, pro bond, they bond protons, neutrons, and electrons, right? They bond with each other and they help each other sustain and maintain a viable functioning frequency, right? They keep each other, they're dichotomy, duality. I just heard dichotomy, duality. They're binary. They're binary. And another term for that in the spiritual world would be thinking twin flames, soulmates, um, helpmates, or angels. Because you have a massive master cell that needs a couple of other cells to be connected to it. And when I'm saying this, I'm thinking about chemistry, like the molecular structures. Molecular structures are a bunch of different little types of cells that come together to support to create a new compound, right? To create a new compound that is neighborhood, that is environment, that is communities, that is cities, states, continents, right? Countries. They come together and they work together to maintain a natural flow state of things. Now, I feel like now I'm moving into an imposter, because when you think of a cell that has become invaded, right? First, like when you catch a common cold, right? You somebody might sneeze, touch you. Their genetic coding is now dispersed around you, right? Just like when we're talking, people don't realize when you talk, you spit. Whether you see it or not, you spit. You disperse air, moisturized air from your mouth. So when you talk and when you breathe, you spit. You are breathing in and air in and out all day long. Excuse me. You're like taking in information all day long when you're breathing in air and you're taking in sound around nature, right? You breathe in air, you are absorbing the ethers around you. You're absorbing the amniotic fluid around you, the protective coating, the atmosphere, right? The prana. You are absorbing life force energy. You are, it's like the food, the nutrients, the nurturing of the, there's so many different parts. An imposter is an invader, a parasite. Well, actually, you become a parasite because you duplicate this information. Like you take in something, you believe it, a belief, whoop, a belief, a knowing of sorts, right? A truth that has become told in which you believed, right? Because you had to agree to this truth. You had to agree to what you hear. That's why they say speaking is false. You heard it, thereby you absorbed it and you believed it of yourself. Let's wait today. Woo! You believed it of yourself. Therefore, you duplicated it within yourself. You planted it within yourself, right? And you duplicated it and you grew it and you nurtured it into the monster, the weed, the character trait, the behavior, the habitual actions, the expression of self, right? And habits are like just getting up early in the morning every day, brushing your teeth, grooming your hair, putting on your clothes and really ironing your clothes, taking care of your clothes, right? Slowing down and not feeling that when you're slowing down that you are stopping or ceasing. You are pacing yourself to exert the right amount of energy that is needed to grow said thing. Now, when you're taking information from a virus, a low functioning entity, thought, being, and you duplicate it, you give it power, you strengthen it for it to grow. And it grows in ways where it develops defenses to either help the cell or to take over the cell, like hinder it, like kill out the old dead parts of the cell that don't belong or that have died off or that have weakened and are no longer strong enough, like they retire that part of the cell, right? Right? It's because your cells, everything generates through your DNA, your genetic, we're designed to duplicate multiple times over and over. The healing part of us, the process we are symbiotic beings, right? And excuse me, because I jumped to like several different times, and I want to close this. We are symbiotic beings, right? And in being as such, when we absorb things or taking energy from other places, other cells, other because I just heard hydrogen DNA. Hydrogen DNA, you kissing, yes. You are locked having intercourse, intercourse, intercourse relations. I like that way that was relations, intercourse relations. You are sharing DNA and genetic coding just by way of being in the vicinity of a person, like just being intimate with a person, like just sitting in a close in setting. You're absorbing their DNA and they're absorbing yours, right? You're absorbing each other. And like sometimes what you're absorbing is programming that, she's programming that either aligns with your programming or does not align at all with your programming, yet that is what you're exposed to. So you have to take in, it's like survival. You have to survive. You have to absorb what it is that's there and make it work for you, right? In turn, you are invading the environment and you are taking charge, right? And it can be a good thing or a bad thing because you are taking charge of said vessel. And sometimes the things that take charge of us are not of us, it is of those around us, because we are symbiotic beings and we work together and we absorb energy. We can also absorb the energy of the person or persons around us, and it can be a symbiotic like life force, or it can be a dysfunctional wobbly cell. It's not smooth and it has like ridges in it, or it has like bumps in it, or it doesn't form properly, like a malfunction in the coding, and you need something or someone to come and just like set it off. Set it off. Oh, now Simba. Okay. Um, don't go. I'm going. I'm gonna take it. The imposter comes when it takes over and it no longer allows the original coding or DNA to function as it once did, right? The cell broke down. It needed help to be restored, refreshed, and renewed. So as it broke down, its defenses became weak, the cell became sick, poisoned, toxic to the system, toxic to society, the people, right? When you don't function according to the norm, or to actually your genetic coding, when you function to your genetic coding, right, you function in a specific cycle. However, sometimes that cycle is not, it doesn't flow well for you. Your coding might have like a kill code or kill switch. That's where they talk about, excuse me, they talk about generational curse breakers, a part or defense that's sent into the cell to be like, yo, peep this. It ain't going down like that. See? Like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Or like, hey, I'm new. I'm new to this, but I'm true to this. I'm not new to this, but I'm new, right? And so I'm gonna exert myself and my energy and let you know what it is. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So do it. Like, I'm supervising, right? And then there's also I don't know who the fuck I am. Right? Like, who is this? What is this? What are we doing here? Why are we here? Right? You're lost. A lost cause, a lost soul, right? Oof. Lost cause, lost soul. Baby, that's deep. You're confused. You've been sent somewhere and you don't know what to do or how to function there. And you are learning. You are a new component that has been added to the situation, right? And who, this is just like everywhere, this conversation. You have to learn how to become a part of that cell, right? In your own right. You have to learn how to do what you were programmed to do. And we were programmed, designed, and developed to do exactly what we do: communicate, take in information, compute, process, right? Bro, and we are watched and we are studied to see if we are doing what we are supposed to do, if we are thriving, or if we are surviving. Oh my gosh, it's so many levels to this. Ooh, I got this crazy crick in my neck. It's wild. And I don't even know where it came from. I just was laying down. And that joint hurt. The dis-ease, right? Something that doesn't belong there, that doesn't want to release, right? A parasite. Now, parasites, mm, they're like spies, right? They're like little, they call them ops. I don't know what is it when they, when This new slang terminology, how they speak now, is crazy. However, I digest. It's not my right to say. Like the new coding, the new programming that's been sent out, the new soldiers, the new, ooh, Nick, like the next generation, the fallen. And they're not as lost as many people might think. They're actually very grounded. A lot of them are. They're just they might be the strongest race of people there is yet, the smartest, because they're gully, right? They're street smart. These teenagers now are extremely street smart. And although they do not always explore the avenues of intellect, which we academia that we think they should, they are exploring and taking in their version of this world, right? They are learning how to become a part of the symbiotic function and flow of our cell, of our nature. And we're watched and monitored by the collective conscience. We watch each other. We are watched by each other. Like we are. And then it's funny because certain parts of our society that are created watch to control, they watch to defend, protect. They it came out past tense. They watched to, ooh, collect information to study. And then they take that information back to, like, the virus. I heard. Ooh, like, bro, my neck, it joint hurt. Ouch. The ops. They sometimes it's just people just playing it right in your fucking, excuse me, in your face. They pretend the ops. They are takeover cells. They are takeover entities, energies. Oh my goodness. They are the Truman Show. They are the watchers that want to control, that observe and learn how to take over the cell. And we help them by wearing masks, by duplicating or masking ourselves from each other. We help by way of, um, wow, because wow. We help by way of duplicating what we choose to ingest, what we pay attention to, right? What we are programmed to receive. And a lot of us do not pay attention enough to say, hey, I don't want to receive that. Hey, I cancel that. I don't agree with that. That doesn't feel right. That like it's so much. 11:44 on the clock. It's so much to be said. Yeah, I feel like I've said enough already, right? In itself. Um, jeez. It's crazy. Whoa. Just the things that you learn. Like when hold on. I don't know exactly where I left off. So I'm just gonna flow with it. Parasites are not always bad. Parasites can be good if you know how to treat them, right? You know how to manage them and teach them the way of life, the way of light, to teach them how to function within your system. they can actually become an ally and protect and shield and guard you as well, right? Or they can consume you or overwhelm you or absorb you and take over all the processing coding and become a cancer, right? Become an ache, a pain, and everything stems from a thought. So, what are you thinking? All of your thoughts produce outward action. Your thoughts produce energy. What you think about is energy frequency. So if you always think about something negative and then you start always talking about something negative, and then you're always hearing something negative, and you're always eating over processed, unorganic, like really real food. You're not operating or exercising how you should. Your cell breaks down. Your coding is no longer viable to the production of that cell, and it is either retired or it is taken out, for lack of a better term to say it, a way of saying it. We mask, we hide ourselves, we shield ourselves to protect ourselves from what we don't understand, what we don't know, what we are too afraid to ask, what we are curious about, what we actually see, because we be in denial. We are in denial at times too. Or I'll say it like that. We are the imposter. What you eat, that goes into you to nourish you or to energize you, that is like leftover, unprocessed or unstorable energy that you have yet to expel. I don't know how to expel. You have to detox. The only way to clean is to close, to push everything out, to do like a clean sweep, to fast. And this is the season to do it, as they say, in the spring. You you prepare. You prepare for prepare for true annihilation. He's like spirit fingers. These are not spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. Bro, I'm sorry. That shit is funny. Mm. But like, yeah. Like, what? You have to close. The cell has to close. And it gives like a signal. And it's like, look, are we going to thrive, survive, make it? Are we going to, how can we do this? Because it goes through a process. It doesn't just disappear or dissipate, right? Not all at once. It's bit by bit, piece by piece, right? Bit by bit, piece by piece, code by code, person by person, molecule by molecule. Because in order for it to be a true molecule, you got to let some things in. You have to understand that code, and you have to work together, compromise, sacrifice, accept. Acceptance is key. Acceptance is healing. It's the healing key. Because it's the compromise, right? It's like the glue that holds everything together, right? Acceptance is key. It is the understanding of it all, the all, the all knowing, the all powerful, the great I am. I am all. But yes, I am God. God is me. We are we. We are one and the same. Right? You are God of you. You are the nucleus in your cell. right? You dictate how your cell operates. You dictate how your being functions, flows, what you think, what you say, what you do. You. And when something that is not you comes inside of you, you explore, pause. Who is this? What is this? Where did it come from? Your body processes it. Ooh, is this good or is not good? Oh, let's get rid of it. Your brain process. Ooh, I like that idea. I agree with that. And I'll expand on this way. Ooh, that's so cute. That's pretty. I like that. You automatically go into a process of how to apply it to yourself, how to absorb. Yes. I don't have your essential course, sweetheart. I don't. It's actually upstairs. The brown one? Are you talking about the brown one? It's upstairs. I don't have that. And if it's down here, it's in that closet by the bathroom. But I don't have that in my room. Oh, he's mad. He's stomping up the steps. These kids just love to let me know how they feel. My kids are very in tune with their emotions. Oh my gosh. Sometimes too much in tune with their emotions. And it can be a good thing, you know, to the right people if you're balanced. If you are, my children are healers. They absorb emotion, they absorb energy, and they make it right. They are the protectors, the providers. And people don't always know that about themselves, that they are protectors, providers, they're warriors, right? You are the defense mechanism cell, the version of you who you really truly were created or born to be. You are the healing cell. You are the antibody. You are you're part of the immune system. You are the stomach. You can withstand acid and all kinds of things that come down there. You know how strong stomach acid has to be? Imagine, oh, never mind. I digress. I digress. I just went somewhere and I didn't want to go, but it's okay. Oh, you know if you are working good by way of how you feel. How are you actually feeling? How does your body feel? How do your organs feel? Do you have a conversation with your organ and say, hey, kidneys, are we working good? And they be like, yep, okay. You use a little bit more water though, and you drink your water, right? For real shit. Hey, stomach, are we working right? Is everything good? Yeah, so far so good. You know what I'm saying? Talk to your body. Listen, right? Hey, intestines, are we operating properly? And we got a lot of crap back here. But real shit, right? This is funny, but it's like, bro, really talk to yourself. People be like, you crazy for talking to yourself. You insane for talking to yourself. No, you're not. No, you're not. You have to know you, all parts of you. When you were born in the womb, when you were created, when you started to grow into that little embryo, you learn by hearing, by listening to yourself, by listening to your body, listening to your cells, directing and organize your cells where they're supposed to go to do what they're supposed to do, right? You are transmuting information. You are computing. Who is it? What's up, babe? The gray one? Yeah, why? I put it away. Why? You need it? Yes. Hold on. Um, I had to pause for a second. Lost train of thought, but it's okay. I just came back to just and first I didn't even introduce myself. Like, whoa, crazy. Okay. Welcome to my spiritual healing journey. My name is Cynthia and I am me. And I make videos. right? I share information that comes to me that I feel is prevalent sometimes that can help somebody if they watch the video. Go figure, right? um, I always end my videos with peace, ashe, amen, I say. And always remember to thine own self be true. And I'm out. And then, yeah. Bye.